Coach, good to see you. Good to meet you. And your first win here at Army against Maritime. How was it for you just getting your first W?
Well, I mean, a relief. It's been a grind for us, obviously, with the way this season has started. But really happy for our guys, for our assistants, for everyone around the program because, it's been amazing to be here since April, and the way the guys have kind of gone to work every day, their togetherness. What they represent is, cadets at the United States Military Academy. Couldn't be prouder to be associated with those guys. And, honestly, the win's more for them than it is for me.
Well, a couple of your veterans had good games tonight. Abe Johnson had 8 points. Charlie Peterson. Tell us a little bit about some of the guys that the fans have seen before. You got a lot of new players on the team.
Yeah, obviously, our experience is fairly. We've had a lot of turnover, obviously, but Charlie and Abe and Matt Dove, our three, 5 men. They're all seniors. They're all firsties, and they just, in a perfect world, they just keep coming at you and wear you down. You don't see that type of size at this level. Definitely not at West Point. So we gotta maximize that size. So I thought they gave us a good burst. Maritime didn't have anyone that necessarily could match up with those guys, and I thought for the most part we took advantage of that.
And you got a couple of your upperclassmen today, especially J.J. Small at eight points. Blake Barker had a couple of good baskets in the game. Tell us about some of your juniors on this roster.
Yeah, I think I have high expectations for them. It hasn't all clicked yet. Again, when you look at losing 4 starters from the previous year, you have guys stepping up into roles that they haven't necessarily been in. But little by little, they're finding their way, and I love the way we came out and started the game. TJ and our 3 plebes, and then Blake and Cabana coming off the bench. I thought we played the first half exactly how we wanted to play it.
And just coming in the room now, Josh Scovins, the freshman, had 11 points. Some good plays the second half. Tell us a little about Josh and some of your freshmen that you're playing.
Well, Josh and his 2 USMAPS wingmen, Ryan Curry and Kendall Haley, and then I believe the word they describe themselves as is dogs, and that's not D-O-G, that's D-A-W-G, and Josh is a competitive dude, man. He can be in my foxhole any day, man. He's gonna battle. He doesn't back down from anything, and as he just gets more experience, he's only gonna keep getting better.
I got to ask you about your game at Indiana. You played them really tight. Tell us about that one.
Well, in the first place, we were tied with 4 minutes to go. So there, no pride in playing. I love how we competed, but we were there to win the game, and we didn't get that done in the last 4 minutes. But what we're trying to do here is build a program where we can win a game like that, whether it's in November or in March, hopefully, against a program like that. And I think when you saw what Josh and Ryan were able to do in that game as freshmen on a big stage in front of a sellout crowd on national TV, I think that gives us great hope for the future with where this program can head and what it can become.
What are some of the keys to improve over balance your non-conference schedule before you get to the Patriot League?
Well, I think our biggest area for growth is offense. But again, when you have inexperienced guys and young guys playing in spots they haven't been in, and they're playing a lot of times against 23, 24-year-old guys in this current era of college basketball, the offense is going to take a minute. So what we have to hang our hat on here in the short term is we got to just war it up defensively and on the glass. And for us to start out 9-0, to give up 6 points in the first half, we weren't. Regardless of who the opponent is, that's the way we have to approach the game, and I'm proud of how we came out defensively and on the glass.
Is there a particular philosophy you have on defense? You emphasize zone? Do you emphasize like to use man-to-man at times?
Well, my background is Butler, and Butler's really known for hard-nosed man-to-man pack line defense, and that's what I want us to be. I want us to be hard-nosed on the ball, tough around the rim, loaded up, supporting our teammates in the gap, and we're not there yet. We're still a work in progress, but we'll get there.
Hey, this is our first chance to chat. I just want to ask you about your service in the United States Army. You're a graduate of Notre Dame, the ROTC program there. You served overseas, you were deployed, earned a Bronze Star. Tell us a little bit about your military career, if you would.
Well, my father hadn't been, my grandfathers had been in the military, my father hadn't, but I'll be honest, I got into ROTC because it was a chance to go to Notre Dame and a way to pay for it. Had no idea what the military piece was going to entail after. I showed up at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri as a second lieutenant in June 1996, not knowing what I was going to expect. About 4 months later, I was at Fort Lewis. I was leading, 40 men in an engineer platoon. And honestly, that experience to be a leader of young men and women and be a platoon leader at that age of 22, it was a life changer for me. I am where I am because of that experience. And those 2 years of my life, I wouldn't trade them for anything. That's made me what I am as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a leader. And for me to come back here and have a chance to do the same thing for these young men and kind of, show them the way and hopefully help mold them a little bit and inspire them, I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
And we just had branch night here for the seniors. And what was your branch in the Army?
I was an engineer.
You were an engineer of one of the premier areas of the U.S. Army.
Engineers lead the way. We are the premier branch in the United States Army, not one of them.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your coaching career. Some of the stops you mentioned, Butler, obviously in the Big East.
Well, I started out at Division II at a little no-name school called Christian Brothers University in Memphis and St. Michael's College in Vermont, and then luckily got a chance at Division I at Ohio University. And as I've moved on, I've been lucky. I've been able to work for Brad Stevens at Butler, for Thad Mata at Ohio State in Butler, for Archie Miller at Dayton, going to the Elite Eight, and then for Bob McKillop at Davidson. So hopefully a little bit of that rubbed off on me. I'm nothing compared to all those guys, but we're finding our way as a program. And again, I'm just so lucky to be at this institution with these young men. Just a final thought. What has it been like for you being here at West Point since you were brought in the springtime? Well, it's an unbelievable community. The first year of anything, especially being a first-time head coach, and at a place like this with so many unique layers that there's just no way to know about it till you go through it for the first time. It's a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you, but to be at a place with such amazing people that live here and work here, such an unbelievable tradition, and then again, these young men, not just the guys on our team, but the young men and women that go to this place that are going to be future officers. Wow, it's amazing, and I'm just can't say how fortunate I am to be here. Coach, good to meet you, and thank you for your service to our country. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, thanks so much for coming.
Nice to meet you. Let me give you the cards to who
that would be awesome.
Speaking to.
I'll shoot you an email. Thank you so much.
Nice.
We got
Love this show.
We got Josh Jacobs first, and then Charlie Peters.